This is Mick from the One Question series. It's Friday, June 27th, 2025. First off, I want to thank all of you for supporting this channel and the work we've been doing over here. I also want to give a special shout out to Dr. Yaffa for always taking the time to do these interviews, bringing real knowledge and dropping fire every time. I truly appreciate her for showing up and making these conversations what they are. Much respect to all the subscribers, the viewers, people who submitted questions, and everyone who's been a part of this journey. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Dr. Yaffa, today's question. There's a growing movement led by people sometimes who look like us. They have our phenotype, claiming we're lying about being indigenous to America. Some are even pushing for laws to officially classify us as non-indigenous and strip us of our indigenous rights. What do you say to these people?
Oh my gosh. You sure you want to put that question to me? Let me say this to all of you dimwits, and I'm going to call you a dimwit. Why am I calling you a dimwit? Because you guys are out there calling my people names. Let me just speak for myself. I cannot and will not speak for everybody else. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know my mom, my dad. You don't know my mom's mom, my dad's mom. You don't know my mom's dad, my dad's dad, etc., etc., etc. You don't know my blood type. You don't know my DNA results. You don't know anything about me. And you can look at me and go, oh, well, you can't be an American Indian because you're black. Well, one, God dang it, I have told you flippers multiple times, I am not black. Y'all are not black. I don't be lack anything. One. Two, I am not the color of a car tire. Three, the word black originally meant bleached up, pale, and white in color. I am not white in color. You can be black if you want to, but you cannot make me black. When you say black people, I know who you mean. I know you're referring to me and people that look like me. Fine. But that is not a race, and that is not an ethnic group. So this fundamentally black means nothing. It means nothing. What is that? Show me that on a map. Show me that. So show me the country for that. Show me the Constitution for that. Show me the flag for that. Now you can make one up, but if it's new, it's not true. That's also a fact. But unless and until you meet me personally, and you meet my mom, who's no longer walking the earth, and her mom, who's no longer walking the earth, and her dad, who's no longer walking the earth, etc., etc., etc. And until you meet my father, who is still walking this earth, and his mom, who is not walking this earth, and his dad, who is not walking this earth, etc., 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 you don't know me and what my bloodline is. So for the people that say, ain't no black person in America and indigenous, have you met every single one of those individuals? Have you met every single one of their parents and grandparents and great grandparents and great great grandparents and great 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 grandparents, etc., etc., etc.? If you don't know the bloodline for each and every melanin rich person walking mainland USA who tells you, I am American autochthon, I am indigenous, am air Indian, I am air. No, we are not Native Americans. No melanin rich person is a Native American. Now, let's get into that word real quickly. The term native originally meant anybody born here. I don't care if you were from Russia, Korea, China, Japan, or France. If you were born here, you were native to here until the 1970s. In the 1970s, when the federal government seized the term native and made it so that it only applies to federally recognized tribes. If you're not a part of a federally recognized tribe, then you are not a Native American. And even if you are a part of a federally recognized tribe and you are a Native American, that's a flipping insult as well. The term native, which is English from the Latin term nativus, means in the Latin verbiage a serf, a servant, a slave, or a woman born into bondage. Bros, are you women born into bondage? No man walking this goddamn continent or this country or this planet, unless you're a man in drag, no man is a woman born into bondage. Therefore, no man is a native anything. If you just want to get down into the roots of a word, I'm just saying. Now, you don't get the audacity to tell me who my ancestors are and what my bloodline is. If I tell you I am an American autochthon, indigenous, and I can't stand that word indigenous, I hate it with a passion. I only utilize it because of its international usage. Back when I came out telling my people we were American autochtons, you go to the UN or the feds or anywhere else, the United States, UCJ, UCCJ, I mean ICJ, ICCJ, nobody really knew what autochthon was or what that is. So you come in with something new that's not familiar to them, you're not going to get far. But you come in saying indigenous, oh, we know what that's supposed to mean. That's the only reason I even utilize that term at all. But I am who I say I am. I am what I am becoming. And that is the case for every other individual you encounter. So if I tell you I am an heir to America by blood, that makes me an American autochthon, aborigine, and aborigine means from the beginning, from the first, from the source. I am tied to the source of America, and your disapproval does not, will not, and cannot untie me. You don't know me. So, in this whole, well, you prove it, prove it. You prove I'm not, okay? I have a preponderance of evidence that I am, but you prove that I am not. And I'm gonna warn you. If you start digging up my ancestry and my bloodline, you are going to dig up that I am who I tell you I am. You don't get to go, well, you're not American Indian because you're black. First of all, the people that you're calling native, most of them are so-called white folks, newly enrolled in federally recognized tribes. Let me ask you this. In this, well, you're not American Indian because you're not a part of a tribe. I'm part of my mama's goddamn clan. Okay? I'm part of my mother's clan. All right? So don't tell me I'm not a part of a clan. My mother had 4. There's 4 in my clan. My sister had 8. There's 8 in her clan. My other sister had 2. There's 2 in her clan. Y'all can miss me. And you're more of what your mother is than you are of what your father is. Yes, I have, to my knowledge, 4 foreign forefathers. 4, maybe 5 tops on my father's side and on my mother's side. I know more about me than you know about me. I can tell you who I am better than you can tell me who I am. You don't even know me. You don't even know my damn name. You know my public persona. Most of you don't even know my flipping birth name. You don't even know that I'm ex-Air Force. Now, I wanted out, and they let me out. I went into the Air Force to become an air traffic controller. Can you pass the Air Force test to become an air traffic controller? Probably not, because you're probably not smart enough, okay? Especially if you sit up and make claims about people. Oh, none of y'all are indigenous. None of y'all are American Indian. You don't know everybody's bloodline. You don't even know everybody. You don't know every single melanin-rich individual walking mainland USA. People can tell you who they are better than you can. And in some cases, I can tell you and I can show you. Flipper. Now, let me say this, and let's try this. You're not a part of a tribe. Let's say I steal your Lamborghini. I steal it. My mom is a police officer. My grandfather is a judge for the area that I live in that I stole your Lamborghini from. Okay? My uncle is the elected sheriff. Let's just put this all out here so we can shut you up. All right? You roll up on me one day. Yeah, I threw on some new rims. I might have even put on a different license plate. You roll up on me one day and go, hey, you rolling down and you're like, I think that's my car. And you get out, I get out the car, you come up to me and go, excuse me, this is my car. And I look at you and say, man, get the hell out of my face. I don't know what you're talking about. This is my car. No, man, I think this is my car. You know, it's you got new rims on it, but you know, there's my seats and this is my car. And I'm like, man, you need to slip away from me. I'm gonna call the police. And I call my mama. He's a cop. What can you do about it? What are you gonna do about it? If you come up to me and tell me this is your car and that I stole your car, and I tell you this is not your car, does that make you wrong? Does that mean it's not your car because I'm telling you it ain't your car? I stole your car. I know I stole your car. I didn't know it was yours. I didn't know you or who you were. But you're coming up to me telling me that this is your car because your car was stolen. And I know this car was stolen because I stole it. Wasn't nobody in it when I took it. And you walk up to me and say, this is my car. And I say to you, no, it is not. This is my car. Does that make you not the owner? No, it does not. I do not expect the forced military occupation invasion that stole my ancestral homeland and stole some of my ancestors and some of my relatives and people, scattering them around the world during the slave trade as opposed to bringing them in. They took us out, okay? There were not that many Africans in mainland USA. Most of them were in Jamaica and Brazil. I'm just saying. The people of mainland USA are attached to USA, mainland USA. So if the federal government stole my homeland from my ancestors that I am tied to by blood, and they say to me, you're not American Indian because I'm not recognizing you as such. Just like I'm telling the owner of the Lamborghini that I stole, you're not the owner of this car because I don't recognize you as the owner. That doesn't mean you're not the owner because the thief told you you're not. Just because I fail to recognize you as the owner doesn't mean you're lying, and it doesn't mean you are not the owner of the car I just stole. If the United States chooses not to recognize my blood tie to mainland USA, that does not invalidate my tie to mainland USA, like my disclaim of your ownership of the Lamborghini I stole does not disclaim your, it doesn't remove your ownership. I'm just not acknowledging your ownership. Just because I don't acknowledge that you're the owner doesn't mean you're not the owner. Just because the feds don't recognize me as tied to this landmass doesn't mean I'm not tied to this landmass. And you that are making these comments, such as, oh, y'all are fake pretendians, y'all are fake abos, y'all not indigenous. And some of the people saying that are melanin rich people saying it because they're in a federally recognized tribe. And say, you black people are not, which you're black, what people call black, or the various shade of brown, that on the street you are identified as black. But since you are in a federally recognized tribe of the people that acknowledge who stole our stuff, you're saying that I'm not who I am just because the thieves acknowledge you. You don't have the right to do that. And my people don't need to keep arguing back and forth with you flippers that are out of your mind, you dimwits. It is a dim-witted comment and a dim-witted stance to stand on your turf, one, and concern yourselves so heavily with other people and what's going on in their blood that you know nothing about. Do you have a blood sample? Have you ran my genealogy? Have you traced my ancestry? And have you done that for every single so-called black person in mainland USA that is telling you who they are and you're telling them who they not? Would you do that to a so-called white person? I just want to know. If I walked up to you and I said, I'm Irish and I'm so-called white, would you have the flipping Negro audacity to sit there and tell me, no, you're not? My flipper say, what now? Excuse me? You don't even know me. I'm telling you I'm Irish and you're going to look at me and tell me I'm not? Well, you don't have red hair. You look Jewish to me. You don't look Irish. I don't give a flip what the flip I look like to you. I don't even know you. And you don't know me. You don't even know my name. You don't know my mom. You don't know my dad. You don't know my ancestry. But you're going to sit your behind there and look at me and my white behind, and I'm telling you I'm Irish, and you're telling me I'm not. Do you know how you Negroes look to people? You look like the dumbed down nitwits from public school system that they trained you to be. I got my PhD in religion. What's yours in? And nah, religion ain't all that, but people need to know there's more to religion than you think. It's all about religion, unfortunately. I'm just saying, how much miseducation do you have? See, because when you graduate, the more education you have or miseducation you have, the more of a blockhead you become. But a lot of you are so dim-witted, you don't even have any education, but you're out there making a lot of noise. And I'm like, this little channel with only a few hundred subscribers and followers, y'all got thousands, and you look like me, but you're ragging on me because you're so pro-Africa or you're so pro-federal recognition. You can be that and profess all you want who you are, but don't you dare fix your mouth to disclaim and denounce who the hell I'm telling you I am, because you wouldn't do it to me if I was white telling you I was Irish. Don't do it to me when I'm melanin rich telling you I am Amerindian, autochthon, aborigine, heir to America by blood heritage. You don't know other than what I tell you. And if you don't believe me, I challenge you to do the research on me. Do it. Once you do it, you will shut your flipping mouth because you're going to be proven to be stupid, misinformed, and as ignorant as you are showing the world you are. You don't get to do that to me. And I'm speaking for a whole lot of folks, but I'm trying not to speak for everybody because I don't know everybody like you don't know everybody. Therefore, you should not have the stupidity to try to speak for everybody when you don't know everybody. You don't know what you're talking about. So you can't say that. You don't have the right to say that. When you have more information on me, the individual, then you can talk to me and attack me individually. But you do not have the authority to attack every melanin rich person that you are calling black and African when they're telling you they're not black and African. They know who they are and you do not. You don't know. And stop being so ignorant is to believe that everything is based on skin color. But just for the record, there were no white mother flippers in the mainland USA or anywhere in the Americas for that matter. There was a point in history when there was no such thing as a pale faced person walking this goddamn earth. And for people that walked across the Bering Straits, they can walk home. But for the people that they found here and the people that the pilgrims found here who are telling you who they are, I done told everybody, go follow Kurumeyo. Go follow Sosalinha. There are people out there that will give you the evidence, the proof, and the receipts of what America was. And you pro-Africans, yeah, you Black American and I'm African American, and all of y'all are African too. Look at please. I can't wait till they deport your ass. And on that note, God damn it, I'm done. Harambe, Harambe, I'm out.